Think better in special committee than when we are in plenary. In fact, to me, Mr. Speaker, the debate and the discussion in plenary will actually even be more transparent, open. Mr. Speaker, I think it is wrong for anybody to imagine that by having a plenary debate on this impeachment, then we are going to deny the governor a chance, Mr. Speaker, to prove our case. Mr. Speaker, the same Standing Order 80 is clear that this governor will choose to have a representation by a legal counsel.
Senator Seki. What is the point of order, Senator Sifuna?
With your kind permission, Mr. Speaker, under Standing Order 109, I would like to propose that we now call the mover to reply.
Senator Sifuna, go to Standing Order 110.4. I'll just read it for the benefit of your colleagues and yourself in particular. 109. 109.3, in fact. Do you wish to proceed with your point of order? Good. Senator Seki.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I also rise to oppose this motion on the impeachment of Governor Kawera. I want to take this opportunity to say that this Senate, this House, has an opportunity to understand more about the issues of Meru County rather than going to the committee way. I suggest that and propose that we go the plenary way, because it will give us opportunity to hear for ourselves, to see what is happening in Meru County, and understand more problems that are coming from the governor herself. I want to take this opportunity to say that going the committee way, we tried that, and it is another chance that we also experience this opportunity to go the plenary way. I want to say that, yes, it is true. We have seen this House going through committee ways in different or with different governors that who have been impeached. But I believe that this process of plenary will give us a chance as new senators also to debate and also to give our contribution as delegations of counties to this motion. So I think I do oppose this motion. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Senator Kisang.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Honorable Speaker, as by Standing Order 80, the Senate, we have the two options, either to go to plenary or committee way. I want to speak as the chair of, I was the chair for impeachment motion for Deputy Governor for Siaya, and during that particular impeachment motion and process, Honorable Speaker, we were able to give both sides, the accusers and the Deputy Governor, enough time. We sat as a committee through the night looking at all the reports. From my side, Honorable Speaker, I believe the committee way is the best way to go. Honorable Speaker, Members have an issue with the 6 members from Kenya Kwanza side who sat December last year when they were presiding over the impeachment motion for Kawira. I believe the reason why they were put there by the leadership of Kenya Kwanza, it's because they want them to bring historical memory. That's the reason why they are there, so that they can help to check if the accusations that have been brought again are the same. Honorable Speaker, it's not that when we have 11 members, the others, Honorable Speaker, when we did that impeachment process, the process was covered live. The people of Meru, the MCS from Meru, they'll be able to see, because all the media houses will be there covering live, the same as if we have it at plenary. So by going to committee way, we are not losing anything. If anything, we'll gain, because if the committee finds that there is substantiated allegations, then it will come to the committee. It will come to plenary. There'll be 2 options. There'll be 2 opportunities for the speaker, for the governor. Honorable Speaker, I support this motion and ask my colleagues. This is a bipartisan motion, just to agree on numbers on a committee. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I support.
Senator Kenywa.
Asante sana Bwana Speaker.
But who has given you that permission to stand? Senator Kenywa.
Asante Bwana Speaker kwa kunipa fursa hii.
What is your point of order, Senator Omtata?
Order number 109, and ask that the move of the motion be now called upon to reply, because we are now bombing rubble. We are repeating ourselves. There's nothing new being said. So let the mover be called to reply.
Now, Honorable have a seat, Senator Folamu. You can take your seat, please. Now, Honorable Senators, Senator Omtata has read the mood of the House and is seeking for the chair to call the mover to reply. Now, will as many? No. Senator Maruma, take your seat. This is a matter we can dispense with in a minute. Okay? So I will proceed to put the question. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many as of the contrary opinion say nay? So the ayes have it. Senator Ledama, proceed to reply.
Mr. Speaker, I thank you for this opportunity. I rise to reply. And Mr. Speaker, I've listened to all our colleagues make contributions. And as I reply, Mr. Speaker, there are a few things that I think are important that must be clarified for particularly the new members who have come here, so that when you make a decision, either way, you know, the beauty of debates, Mr. Speaker, is that you either for or against. My job is to persuade you to find it fit to support the motion, but with reason. Debate, when I was in school, I was taught that debate enriches skills. It also challenges you to be able to think outside the box. Mr. Speaker, during the submissions of our colleagues, one of our colleagues have indicated clearly that it is important for the governor to be able to come to this plenary so that she can be able to defend herself and all senators get a chance to cross-examine her. Mr. Speaker, I want to correct that assertion. When we sit as 67 members of the Senate, will only sit as a jury. The only thing we can be able to do is to seek clarification. You will rise and say, can you please clarify what you just said? The reason why, Mr. Speaker, I was persuading, and this is why I still want to persuade you, to consider the committee way is because that is the only option you will have to cross-examine any witness. Sitting here during plenary, Mr. Speaker, will all be juries. In fact, these televisions will be switched off, and then all of us, after the governor and the assembly have made their case, sit down to now consult and talk among each other as juries, 67 of us, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, it is important that any decision we make as a Senate, we make it when we are fully informed. Mr. Speaker, I want to persuade the new members who have made an argument that they have not been given an opportunity to be able to experience a committee, and they want to be given an opportunity to participate in an impeachment motion. Mr. Speaker, on our side of the divide, we propose new members. And in fact, out of the 11 members, we have proposed in total, for both sides, 4 women. That is above a third. Mr. Speaker, it is important for us to note that we are discussing about precedents. We are discussing, Mr. Speaker, about procedures, whether committee, whether plenary. If you are sitting there thinking that in plenary, you will get an opportunity to cross-examine a witness, the news is you will not be able to do that. You will only be a jury. So those are the issues that we must consider, Mr. Speaker,
order, senators.
as we make our decision.
Senator Boni, and Senator Kisang.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, we are a new democracy. In fact, now I'm happy that soon we'll be celebrating 60 years of independence. We have chosen a presidential system of governance. In the United States, Mr. Speaker, during an impeachment process, a group of representatives who are referred to as managers prosecute the matters and then submit. Once the charges have been read, they prosecute the matters and then submit a report for the full House to debate. We are quite far, Mr. Speaker, when it comes to the issue of understanding issues to do with the impeachment process. And I know, Mr. Speaker, and I want to persuade my colleagues that I know that we are sitting here, and in most cases, Mr. Speaker, what drives us is our political affiliation, Mr. Speaker. I want to remind us, and as I persuade you, as I close, Mr. Speaker, I want to persuade you that whatever happens today, remember it will go on record. It is something which will be able to help build this Senate. I know as you sit there, you've made up your mind. But for the people of Meru, it is important for the people of Meru to know that today we are not prosecuting, we are not debating the issue
honorable senators,
of either to send the governor away. The only thing we are debating is whether
what is your point of order,
to give it to 11 members of the Senate to be able to cross-examine witnesses.
Senator Ledama.
Honorable Speaker, it is very unfortunate that I did not get an opportunity also to speak on this particular matter which is touching on my county. But Mr. Speaker, you know, Honorable Rendama, Senator Rendama convinced us enough. And I think he is just delivering his points that he gave us. So can you kindly summarize? Can you just summarize and then we make the decision? Yes. Yeah, you just summarize your reply. You don't need to. That is the reason why we could have been given 2 minutes each. Because I was on the queue also. It is not fair at all.
Senator Fomeru, indeed, I am aware. Indeed, I'm aware that this matter originates from your home county. However, if you look at our standing orders, the mover has 20 minutes to make a reply. So, Senator Ledama, you are left with 3 of the 20.
3 of the 20?
Yeah.
Mr. Speaker, I thought I was left with 17 of the 20, but I will respect...
the 3 minutes now. You have
within
2.
3 minutes, Mr. Speaker, I want to conclude as follows. You know, we can make all the noise. And, Mr. Speaker, please...
Order. What is the point of order,
Talk to Senator Cherargei. Freeze my time.
Mr. Speaker, I needed for future engagement. I'm raising understanding order number 98, number 103, number 4748, and number 111. Mr. Speaker, I need your interpretation. When a motion is limited after you have put the open for the debate, does it mean that the mover, when they are replying, are also limited to 3 minutes? My interpretation and the upshot in such, so that we don't go to conundrum, Mr. Speaker, is to have the mover to reply, to restrain themselves to 3 minutes, because that is the import of standing order number 111. So is it in order, Mr. Speaker, to request you kindly, understanding what number 1 and the import of standing order 111, to call the mover, Mr. Speaker, to just finish under 3 minutes, just like any Mr. Speaker, because it is like Animal Farm. It's not like Animal Farm where, Mr.
Senator
Speaker...
Fernandi, had you not showed up on a point of order, Senator Ledama will be through by now. I said he had 3 minutes.
Okay, thank you for the guidance. I just needed that clarity. Thank you.
Mr. Speaker, you know, my dear brother from Nandi loved to hear the sound of
Senator Ledama.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Just proceed to conclude.
Let me conclude in 2 minutes, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, as I conclude, I want to conclude with the following. Number 1, that it is important for us to know the facts of either committee or plenary. During committee, our distinguished 11 senators will get a chance to retreat, to go and write a well-thought-out report and come back here to be able to persuade us either to send the governor home or to save the governor. During plenary, Mr. Speaker, this will only take 2 days. There is no time to go and retreat. And looking at the calendar, Mr. Speaker, it is quite evident that maybe we'll have only the 7th and the 8th, and that's done. So, Mr. Speaker, as we leave this house today, and as my colleagues from both sides of the aisle make their determination on whether to go plenary or committee, remember that impeachment is a very painful process that I would never wish for anybody. So I plead with you to support
order members.
My brother from Meru, I have a lot of tremendous respect, Mr. Speaker, for the Deputy Speaker. But the Deputy Speaker, being the Deputy Speaker, sits in that seat, knows the rules of debate. The issue here is this: let us not make it a shouting matter. I am trying to convince you, if we bring Narok here, I'll be sitting here, you will tell me the same thing. So, Mr. Speaker, I beg to reply, and I request you to support.
Thank you. Now, honorable senators, as you may notice, this is a procedural motion. It does not go to the substance of the subject of impeachment. It is a procedural motion. And therefore, pursuant to Standing Order 84.1, I will proceed to make my determination, which is it does not affect the counties, being a procedural motion. Senator Eddy, I will throw you out. And therefore, I will proceed now to put the question. At the end of the question, voting shall be by voice. Honorable senators, and I put the question. Senator Karen Nyamu, kindly walk in and take your seat. that whereas pursuant to Article 181 of the Constitution and Section 33 of the County Governments Act, on Wednesday, 25th of October 2023, the Meru County Assembly, order members. How will you vote if you won't hear the question? Or what are you going to vote on if you cannot be still to hear the question? Order members. That whereas pursuant to Article 181 of the Constitution and Section 33 of the County Governments Act, on Wednesday, 25th October 2023, the Meru County Assembly approved a motion to remove from office by impeachment the Honorable Kawira Mwangaza, the Governor of Meru County. And further, whereas by a letter reference M/Cares Volume 4/43, dated 26th of October 2023, and received in the office of the Speaker of the Senate on Friday, 27 October 2023, the Speaker of Meru County Assembly, Senator Cherangei, informed the Speaker of the Senate of the approval of the motion by County Assembly and further forwarded to the Speaker of the Senate documents in evidence of the proceedings of the Assembly. And whereas pursuant to Section 33(3)(b) of the County Government Act and Standing Order 81B of the Senate by resolution may appoint a special committee comprising 11 of its members to investigate the matter. Now, therefore, pursuant to Section 33(3)(b) of the County Government Act and Standing Order 81B, the Senate resolves to establish a special committee comprising the following senators: Senator Dr. Boni Kalwale, CBS MP; Senator Jackson Mandago, EGH MP; Senator Karungo Thangwa MP; Senator Esther Okenyuri MP; Senator Ali Roba, EGH MP; Senator Peris Tobiko, CBS MP; Senator Enoch Wambua, CBS MP; Senator Abdul Haji MP; Senator Okoeti Omtata MP; Senator Crystal Asige MP; and Senator Shakila Abdallah MP to investigate the proposed removal from office of the Governor of Meru County, and pursuant to Standing Order 82 to report to the Senate within 10 days of its appointment on whether or not it finds the particulars of the allegations against the Governor to have been substantiated. Will as many as of that opinion say aye? Aye. Will as many of the contrary opinion say nay? Nay. The nays have it. Honorable Senators, order, order. If you're standing, you'll be counted with this side. Order. Order. Pardon? Order, order, honorable senators. Senator Boni. Now, before I allow the clerk to count, I'm giving you a second either to stand or to sit, because we're going to proceed to count. Order, Senator Ledama. Senator Ledama, you stand and keep quiet. You're not conducting a no. So, that's defeated. Now, honorable senators, the clerk has proceeded to count the senators standing. You are 14, and therefore is defeated. Thank you. Matthew had been. Clerk, proceed to call the next order, please. We go to this, sir. Order, honorable senators. Order. Clerk, proceed to call the next order, please.
Order number 8, the Sugar Bill, National Assembly Bills number 34 of 2023, second reading. A bill for an act of parliament to provide for the development, regulation, and promotion of the sugar industry, to provide for the establishment, powers, and functions of the Kenya Sugar Board, and for connected purposes.
Now, honorable senators, kindly take your seat. For those who are not willing to continue after that vote, please, you can wait your colleagues in the lounge, but don't disrupt the proceedings of the House. We need to proceed. Now, pursuant to Standing Order 45-2, I will again further rearrange the sequence of today's order paper. And Senator Fomeru, kindly take your seat. If you look at today's order paper, order number 19 and 20, these are orders that have been appearing in our order paper for the last 3 months, if not more. These are procedural matters that we can dispense with at this moment, and then we can revert to the original flow of today's order paper. So I will rearrange the business. We proceed to prosecute order number 19 and 20 before resuming the normal flow of today's business. Clerk, proceed to call the order.
Order number 19, motion, report of the 146th Assembly of the Interparliamentary Union, IPU, and related meetings held in Manama, Kingdom of Bahrain from 11th to 15th March 2023.
Senator Kathuri, proceed. Well, this motion is by the Senator Fomeru. The report on the 147th Assembly of the Interparliamentary. The report on the Manama.
Honorable
IPU
Speaker.
report.
Honorable Speaker. No, wait. Please give me time. Honorable Speaker,
If you're not ready, Senator,
I was not ready, and my mind also has no that temperament to prosecute that motion, Mr. Speaker.
Very well. Proceed to call order 20.
Order number 20, motion, report of the Senate delegation to the 67th session of the Commission on the Status of Women, CSW 67, held in New York from 6th to 17th March 2023.
Senator Fatuma Dulo. Yes, you can do that. Banawe.
A few minutes. Honorable Speaker, this is the report of of the Senate delegation to the 16th session of the Commission on the Status of Women, CSW 67. Honorable Speaker, I was honored to be part of the delegation that proceeded to CSW meeting in New York, and I will now present the report. The United Nations Commission on the Status of Women, CSW, is the principal global intergovernmental body exclusively dedicated to the promotion of gender equality and the empowerment of women.
Senator Veronica, please approach the speaker.
Honorable Speaker, I move the motion that the Senate notes the report of the Senate delegation to the 67th session of the Commission on the Status of Women, CSW, held in New York from 6th to 17th March 2023, laid on the table of the Senate on Thursday, 29th June 2023. Honorable Speaker, I will now go to the report. Honorable Speaker, the United Nations Commission on the Status of Women, CSW, is the principal global intergovernmental body exclusively dedicated to the promotion of gender equality and the empowerment of women. This is a functional commission of the Economic and Social Council, ECOSOC, which was established in June 1946. The CSW is instrumental in promoting women's rights, documenting the reality of women's lives throughout the world, and shaping global standards on gender equality and the empowerment of women. The Commission holds a 2-week annual event where representatives of the UN member states, civil society groups, non-governmental organizations, the NGOs, the media, and other UN entities converge at the UN headquarters in consultative status with ECOSOC to discuss priority themes critical to the well-being of women around the globe. The 67th session of the Commission on the Status of Women took place at the United Nations headquarters in New York from 6th to 17th March 2023. The theme of the session was Innovation and Technological Change and Education in Digital Age for Achieving Gender Equality and the Empowerment of All Women and Girls. In the first fully in-person session following 3 years of the COVID-19 pandemic, CSW 67 registered attendance from 181 member states with more than 7,000 participants, including 4 heads of states and government and 116 ministers, 205 side events on UN premises, and about 700 NGO parallel events. For the first time, the session included an interactive youth session with young people, youth representative of delegations, civil society, and United Nations organizations engaging in dialogue and providing recommendation on how to ensure young women and girls are part of the digital transformation. The Commission also benefited from important contribution from a wide range of civil society organizations, including the leaders and commitment makers of the Action Coalition on Technology and Innovation for Gender Equality, launched as part of the Generation Equality Forum. The Action Coalition on Technology and Innovation for the Gender Equality has made a significant contribution in cementing alliances between governments, private sector, civil society, and the UN system, and in driving momentum and commitment to advance gender equality through technology and innovation. The Senate delegation to the 67th session of the Commission on the Status of Women comprised the following: Senator Fatuma Adan Dulo, CBS MP, who was leader of delegation; myself, Senator Veronica Maina, MP; Senator Betty Montet, MP; Senator George Mongai Bogwa, MP; Ms. Michelle Bibi Fondo, Deputy Director, Speaker's Office; Ms. Josephine Kusinyi, Principal Legal Counsel, Secretary to the delegation. On behalf of the delegation, I wish to thank the offices of the Speaker and the Clerk of Senate for the support extended to ensure participation of the delegation in the event. It is my pleasure and humble duty to submit the report of the Senate delegation to the 67th session of the Commission on the Status of Women to the Senate for noting and action where necessary. The Commission on the Status of Women, CSW, first met at Lake Success, New York in February 1947, soon after the founding of the United Nations. From its inception, the Commission was supported by a unit of the United Nations that later became the Division for the Advancement of Women in the UN Secretariat. The CSW forged a close relationship with non-governmental organizations, with those in consultative status with the UN Economic and Social Council, ECOSOC, invited to participate as observers. From 1947 to 1962, the Commission focused on setting standards and formulating international conventions to change discriminatory legislation and foster global awareness of women issues. Since the codification of the legal rights of women needed to be supported by data and analysis, the Commission embarked on a global assessment of the status of women. Extensive research produced a detailed country-by-country picture of their politics and legal standing, which over time became a basis for drafting human rights instruments. In 1963, efforts to consolidate standards on women's rights led to the UN General Assembly to request the Commission to draft a declaration on the elimination of discrimination against women, which the Assembly ultimately adopted in 1967. As evidence began to accumulate in the 1960s that women were disproportionately affected by poverty, the work of the Commission centered on women's need in community and rural development, agricultural work, family planning, and scientific and technological advances. The Commission encouraged the UN system to expand its technical assistance to further the advancement of women, especially in developing countries. In 1972, to mark its 25th anniversary, the Commission recommended that 1975 be designated International Women's Year, an idea endorsed by the General Assembly to draw attention to women's equality with men and to their contribution to development and peace. New UN offices dedicated to women were established, in particular the UN Development Fund for Women, UNIFEM, and the International Research and Training Institute for the Advancement of Women, INSTRO. In 1987, as part of follow-up to the Third World Conference on Women in Nairobi, the Commission took the lead in coordinating and promoting the UN system's work on economic and social issues for women empowerment. Its efforts shifted to promoting women issues as cross-cutting and part of the mainstream rather than as a separate concern. In 2011, the four parts of the UN system, Division for the Advancement of Women, DAW, International Research and Training Institute for the Advancement of Women, INSTRO, the Office of the Special Advisor on Gender Issues and Advancement of Women, OSAGI, and the UN Development Fund for Women, UNIFEM, merged to become UN Women, now the Secretariat of the Commission on the Status of Women. During the Commission's annual 2-week session, representatives of UN member states, civil society organizations, and UN entities gather at UN headquarters in New York. They discuss progress and gaps in the implementation of the 1995 Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action, the key global policy document on gender equality, and the 23rd special session of the General Assembly held in 2000, Beijing +5, as well as emerging issues that affect gender equality and the empowerment of women. Member states agree on further action to accelerate progress and promote women's enjoyment of their rights in political, economic, and social fields. The outcome and recommendation of each session are forwarded to ECOSOC for follow-up. Methods of work. The Commission adopts multi-year program of work to appraise progress and make further recommendation to accelerate the implementation of the platform for action. These recommendations take the form of negotiated agreed conclusions on a priority theme. The Commission also contributes to the follow-up to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development so as to accelerate the realization of gender equality and the empowerment of women. Under its current methods of work at each session, the Commission convenes a ministerial segment to reaffirm and strengthen political commitment to the realization of gender equality and the empowerment of women and girls as well as their human rights, and to ensure high-level engagement and the visibility of the deliberations of the Commission, including through ministerial roundtables or other high-level interactive dialogues to exchange experiences, lessons learned, and good practices. B, engages in general discussions on the status of gender equality, identifying goals attained, achievements made, and efforts underway to close gaps and meet challenges. And C, convenes interactive expert panel discussions and the other interactive dialogues on steps and initiatives to accelerate implementation and measures to build capacities for mainstreaming gender equality across policies and programs. D, it also considers one priority theme based on the Beijing Declaration and Platform for Action and the outcome of the 23rd Special Session of the General Assembly and linkages to the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development. E, evaluates progress in implementing agreed conclusions from previous sessions as a review theme. F, discusses emerging issues, trends, focus areas, and new approaches to questions affecting the situation of women, including equality between women and men that require timely consideration. G, it considers in close meeting the report of its working group on communication. H, agrees on further action for the promotion of gender equality and empowerment of women by adopting agreed conclusions and resolutions. I, contributes gender perspectives to the work of other intergovernmental bodies and processes. J, reports on the aspect relating to gender equality, and the empowerment of women of the agreed main theme of the Economic and Social Council in order to contribute to its work. And K, celebrates International Women's Day on 8th March when it falls within its session. Kenya's country position paper on the 67th CSW. Kenya prepared a country position paper, CPP, to articulate the country's position on the 67th CSW priority theme. Yes. Okay. Mr. Speaker, I stand guided, and I want to give the observations that were done by the delegation. Those would have been good to see what Kenya presented, Mr. Speaker, but I believe the report will be availed for the senators to take note of that. The delegation observed that there was need to move beyond the focus on access and ensure women are equipped with the knowledge, awareness, and skills to leverage connectivity for their economic and social empowerment. B, that data is important to make informed decisions, and there is need to continually collect comparable sex disaggregated data to monitor progress towards meaningful connectivity. C, policies and programs should be rolled out to facilitate access and subsidize smartphones and other digital devices for women and girls. D, there is need to develop online content and services which are accessible to women with limited literacy and digital skills. And E, Parliament as an institution should consider hosting a side event during the 68th session. Recommendation was the Senate delegation to the 67th session on the Commission of the Status of Women urges the Senate to note this report. The report, Honorable Speaker, contains much more information and the many side events that the delegation attended, and it would be very good if Senate notes so that we can make progress in gender matters. Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I would request Senator Munkatana to second the report.
Mr. Speaker,